Are you ready to run your short-term rental business like a superhost? If so, look no further than Guesty for Hosts. Guesty for Hosts offers listing management for all three major OTAs, Airbnb, Booking.com, and VRBO. With Guesty for Hosts, you can create a branded direct booking website in minutes. I've been able to hit 61% direct bookings in my business and automate daily tasks such as communication with cleaners and communication with guests. Click the link in the show notes to get an additional $20 off your first month.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Micah and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let,
Thrive. What is up, Micah, man?
I'm good, Stevie Stacks. Getting used to this new setup, but I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, you got a different background there. Where are you at?
I am in Arkansas setting up, trying to get 3 units up. So I'm here trying to get 3 houses up, driving for dollars and cold calling. So real estate stuff.
I told you, man. I think last time we talked about business, you said you were going to slow down. Now you're setting up 3 houses, cold calling, looking for more houses. I'm like, you ain't going to slow down, man.
No. I just need 3 more. I need 3 more in Texas and I'm done.
Okay. Once you get those 3, I'll talk to you. You'll be buying an apartment complex. Anyways, all that aside, this is episode 213 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, short-term, long-term, mid-term rental podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth, Texas, and Arkansas, because you're in Arkansas. And we have a special guest, Micah, man.
Who we got, Stevie Stacks?
His name is Mark Hostfully. I nailed it again, Mark.
Did nail it. Wow.
Who's Mark? Who the hell is Mark? Well, Mark is a self-proclaimed boutique geek and is passionate about the future of retail. After spending nearly 6 years working for Jet.com and then Walmart acquired Jet.com, he quickly realized that the best product experiences don't happen on screens or shelves. They happen in real moments of use in the wild. Mark founded Minoan. Did I say it right? Minoan?
Yeah, nailed it again.
Okay, damn, I'm in a row. To help hosts create and capitalize on rich moments in their homes, save money on everything they need to buy, and spend a fraction of the time on the unsexy things that come along with ordering, tracking, routing, logistics, etc. Welcome to the show, Mark.
What up?
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I thought it was Seth Rogen at first, and then it wasn't. I was like,
yeah, I get that a lot, actually. That's my doppelganger. We do a quick aside. We do a little thing we call a pachakacha on the team at Minoan, where you do like 20 slides like about yourself, and we do a slide for doppelgangers, and mine was pretty much all Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, you hit that one on the head right there, Steve. Yeah, he does look like Seth.
Are you partaking right now like Mr. Seth Rogen does?
It's
all good.
No, not right now.
Hey, man, when we do our remote show in Colorado, I just want to warn the fans for what we're going to say in the future, but we will do one of those, and it's going to be lit. Anyways, how you doing? Lit. Oh man, this is a crazy show, Mark. See, I just got home from setting up a house or setting up the internet and doing all the locks and everything. So, and running around, getting here in the nick of time to do the podcast. And Micah's in another state, and just that's how we roll, man. So this is going to be a fun, loose podcast. Yeah, tell us your story. How did you get into do you do short-term rentals?
I'm an aspiring host. I mean, we work with thousands of short-term rentals. We're saving up. My fiance and I are saving up to try and find a spot up by us. We're in northern Vermont. That's why I'm in this like wooden,
beautiful
cabin. But don't host yet myself. I've everything we do, we learn from our customers that we're working with.
Okay, so what do you do?
My background's been in retail. So, you touched on this a little bit, but I worked at a company called Jet.com, which was an e-commerce marketplace right outside of New York. Crazy company. I mean, when I joined, we were pre-launch, pre-revenue. Within 10 months, we were doing $80 million a month in revenue. The founders sold that business to Walmart. So I sort of went over with them to Walmart, where I took over a $400 million business managing sporting goods for them. And on the e-commerce side, but I also spent a lot of time working on the store side. So I spent a lot of time in Bentonville. Mike, I don't know where you are right now. Probably not Bentonville. I know you're in Arkansas.
No, I'm in Jacksonville, but I'm very familiar with Bentonville.
Oh, okay. So I
Yeah,
spent a
very
lot of time
familiar.
in Bentonville. Setting the modular, thinking through like, how do you put products on shelves? How do you position these things? And, basically had this realization that like the best product experiences, they're not happening on screens the way they do in e-commerce, and they're not happening on shelves and aisles in stores the way they do in a Target, Walmart. The best product experiences come when you can actually use something. It's much better to sleep on a mattress for 2 or 3 nights than it is to scroll through some images on your phone and see what you think. It's much better to listen to music you like on a speaker system in your own space, in a short-term rental. That's a lot better than scrolling through images on a screen or going to like a Best Buy and playing the one song that they've perfectly tuned to sound really nice on that speaker. So these these real moments of use, really using products, or something that I was obsessed with. And I basically stayed, I'm a big, I don't host myself. I'm a frequent guest of hosts. And so my fiance and I were staying at a rental in upstate New York, and we fell in love with a bunch of stuff in the property. Like, we woke up, we're like, man, what time is it? We never sleep like that. Like, what is this mattress? We ripped the sheets off the mattress. We were checking the linen, like the tag on the linens. We're like, who makes this stuff? We want to buy it. Everything from that to like the knife set. They had this really nice wall mounted knife set. And I had a moment where I realized like we need to get a new knife set at home. I was like, wow, our knives are really dull. Like, these are real knives. I can really like cut a tomato. And
so you stole them.
Sorry?
So you stole them.
So I stole them. Yeah.
And put some Walmart ones there instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little switcheroo. So, I emailed the host and I was like, where'd you get all this stuff? Like, we want to buy it. And she sent me a bunch of links. And then the retail geek in me was like, wait a minute, these aren't even affiliate links. Like, you're not going to get any kickback. Like, these brands spend so much money to try and get in front of people on Facebook, on Google. I mean, these are companies that are printing tens of billions of dollars in cash every quarter in profit after they pay everyone. That's the money that's left over. I mean, that's how big this market is, this market for attention. And yet here we are. I've had these incredibly rich moments with these products over the course of 2 or 3 days. So rich that I actually wanted to buy them. And the host is not getting any credit. And so that's what sort of inspired the idea for Minoan, is to build the technology and the infrastructure to let hosts really monetize this stuff, monetize these moments of inspiration that they're creating. And then what we've done more recently in the last year is we're like, well, wait a minute. If these hosts are creating these really meaningful moments, it also means upstream, when they're buying this stuff, they should be getting big discounts. I mean, big discounts, because if you're a host, you're not just a customer of these brands, you're actually a marketing partner. And those have very different economic relationships. And so we've built this portal on Minoan that's really a system to manage everything having to do with the products that you put in your space. So it's all the way upstream from procurement and furnishing, saving a bunch of money. We save hosts between 30 and 60% from over 200 brands. Being able to buy everything in one place, so you're not building a cart on Article, building a cart on Wayfair, building a cart on West Elm, ordering stuff from Public Goods, ordering stuff from here. It's all in one place. You check out one time, and then we take all those products that you've purchased and we basically build them into a custom store for your property, where if guests are staying there and really like the shampoo they're using or the linens or the cookware, they can buy it, and then the host makes money. And we do all the work of routing the orders and managing customer service. And And that's what we do. It's really a system. You know, I'm not a host. You guys know this better than I do, but I talk to a lot of hosts every day. And I know that successful hosting is all about building systems, you know, having systems for cleaning, having systems for pricing, having systems for management, having systems for customer service. What we're really building for hosts is a system that has to do with everything that you need to put, install, place in your property, and then a mechanism to then make money off that stuff, so that eventually it pays for itself.
Beautiful.
So I have a question for you. So like you said, that you basically created this system to where people can get paid off of ordering products out of your short-term rental. So let's say, hey, they want the TV off the wall. Do they just scan a QR code and they're shot over to a link, or how does that system work?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
This might not, for the people listening, this might not be as interesting, but I'll try and describe it. So we have these note card stands that we've developed that are powder coated. So they're really elegant looking. This one's for a property we work with called the Menhaden. And you can see here, it says, found something you like, scan this code to shop the space. So this will sit, you know, right when you walk in. We also have hosts that will like text guests like halfway through the stay, you know, automated, and say, hey, we put a lot of thought into curating each and every amenity and element of your stay. You know, if you want to learn more about the products that make this property so special, click here. And that'll take them, that'll take them to an experience. I can send you guys a link, but we build, it's almost like a Shopify store that's tailored to your property. So it's images of your property, images of each room, and then the actual products that are in each room. There's an item page where if you click in, it has pricing, it has information, and they can check out.
Is it minoanexperience.com? I was looking it up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Minoan.
Cool. So I'm checking it out. Over 160 brands, 50 properties, 30 plus local artisans. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we have 70 boutique hotels we work with, but we have probably close to 10,000 hosts at this point. So we've really been focusing on the hosts in the past year, because we feel like they're the ones. Hotels are already getting good pricing, you know, like they have procurement teams, they do all this stuff. It's like the host, you know, that has like a handful of properties, that's like buying stuff at retail, that's like, you know, on weekends going to set stuff up and install and do all that. That's, you know, we're really passionate about helping those folks. And so we've really focused more on the short-term thing. We're up to 200 brands.
This is cool, man.
We should,
I know, man.
We should
this
update
is dope.
the site.
So I'm setting up, you know, just bought a house that we're going to do short-term rental out of over here in North Texas. And so I want to, here's the thing, because like if we've been, you know, we do a lot of rental arbitrages. We have condos, apartments, townhouses, stuff like that. And we have a few homes that we're doing the same rental arbitrage. This is one we're buying. So I'm like, we're gonna own this. We're gonna go all out. You know, what I'm
it's more personal, I think.
Yeah. We're gonna own it. We're gonna go all out. We're gonna, you know, go high end. And you came in just in the nick of time. It's still empty right now. So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna see what all you got.
Steve.
I know. I'm looking at the stores you work with: Pottery Barn, Crate and Barrel, Purple. Best of Mattress, right? Purple Mattress.
Oh yeah, man, people love those.
Dude, they're expensive as hell. But you're gonna get it to me for the half price, right?
Yeah. No, literally, I think it is half price.
Oh,
maybe more than that. I don't know our pricing for every brand, but generally, you know, they're pretty steep.
Oh, okay. So that's really cool, man. Because this place is really nice that we bought, and so I want to really put good, you know, quality things in there.
Yeah, I mean, it pays for itself in ADR too. Like, you know, this is hospitality. So when you look at like the difference between like a Ritz-Carlton and like I don't know, like a Courtyard Marriott. I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, Motel 6, Super 8, something like that. Like, it's not that the rooms are any bigger. I mean, the rooms are about the same size, but they spend way more, the Ritz-Carlton does, on furnishing it, on the mattress, on the bedding, on the technology. And that's not all. I mean, obviously, I haven't stayed in a lot of Ritz-Carltons, but I imagine like they invest in all the amenities, but the room it's the same box. It's just the stuff they put in the box that allows them to charge 7-8 times as much. And so, when you got a nice property, and you put nice stuff in it, high end amenity, you don't got to go nuts. I mean, we kind of recommend, when we work with hosts, we really recommend you invest in areas where people are sleeping, sitting, or eating. Everything else, it's like, you don't need to go crazy and spend a bunch of money, but you invest in those amenities, you can demand higher prices. And there's sort of a game you can play there of like, okay, well, if I get this, how much does this impact ADR? Like, what is, and we're doing this, we don't have all the data yet, but we're trying to track, like, okay, like, is it worth investing in like a Sonos speaker system? Like, because if that gives you a $20 bump in ADR, that thing's going to pay for itself in like a month and a half. And then after that, it's just adding profit to your rental. And so we really try and look at this scientifically, like, what do you put in the property? Where is it worth investing? Airbnb has done this analysis with like hot tubs and pools and like tennis courts, but no one's done it at the amenity level. And that's what we're really focused on just helping hosts nail.
I love it, man. So where did that Minoan name come from, by the way?
Oh man, that's so the Minoans, they're a civilization that lived on the island of Crete, which is in Greece, like 5,000 years ago. And they were just, I think I went to a museum. I'm kind of a nerd. So I went to a museum and I saw an exhibit on them and I was like, it's cool. Like, they were very technologically advanced for 5,000 years ago. So they were like one of the first civilizations to build water filtration systems, have plumbing systems, build multi-story buildings. They were like one of the first civilizations to figure out the exact properties of gold, like the temperature at which you can mold it into art without burning it, because like you have to be very careful with temperature there. And like socially, they were very like advanced. They were a mercantile society, so they made a lot of money through trading things. And I just thought it was this really cool sort of technologically advanced, before technology meant information technology, just, they're super advanced and I thought pretty inspirational. And, we're really trying to like bring a new perspective and a whole new business model to this industry around innovating around like the platform and the way you think about buying these products, innovating around the experience that you can deliver to guests and allowing them to bring peace of it home. And so we decided to, take their namesake as we got going.
That's cool, man.
How would one sign up to be a part of this? And like to sign up, because I know you can go on to your site and start buying the products off there. Can we, like, let's say I already have like 4 or 5 places and I already have all these products in there. Can I onboard those products into Minoan?
Yeah. So we have a join us flow on the website. So top right, if you click join us, we just ask people some questions around like how many properties, are they furnishing from scratch? Are they doing a refresh? Are they just interested in the shoppable side? And go through that. Yeah, we're interested in making, we work with 200 brands. So even if you didn't buy stuff through us, like we want to help you make these products shoppable. And I mean, to be honest, what I'm really passionate about is connecting hosts with local brands so that you can bring in, brands that are in Arkansas or Texas, like people who work, the types of people that sell on Etsy. We're not quite there yet. It's easier to work with the big companies who have like warehouses and infrastructure and then work your way down. But yeah, so there's an application. I mean, really what we're looking for is properties that pride themselves on delivering an experience. They put some thought and heart into the properties and they have a story to tell. We want to help them tell that story. But yeah, man, I mean, it depends on where you got it. Like if you got stuff off Amazon and it's like, well, we can't really figure out like who the manufacturer is, we can't help you. But I mean, if you bought anything from, West Elm, Pottery Barn, Wayfair, Crate and Barrel, Article, Casper, Serta Simmons, Bear Mattress. And there's a lot of companies we work with. If you purchase from any of them, we can make it shoppable. And the goal is to keep adding new brands so that, you know, you could make everything shoppable.
You know, what's I think you're doing this at the exact right time, because what if you notice how Airbnb is putting forth on their website, the like unique properties, you know.
Yeah.
Because for so long it looked like Wayfair threw up all over Airbnb, right? And so and so every unit started looking like the Wayfair futons, the Wayfair everything. I mean, it was just inside and out Wayfair. Even mine, you know, because I, you know, back then my, you know, our great designer, you know, she brought us into the fold. She started designing for us, and Wayfair was like the cool place to go, right? It was cool.
They got a lot of selection. I mean, they have a lot of products.
A lot of
like
products.
a million products,
and
so
they all break. They all break like a mofo.
Yeah.
and so we've learned that the hard way. And you know, our designer, she's moved on from them. I'm sure she's not. Yeah, she's doing some really cool stuff now with like more unique things. And so she would love this Minoan for real. We're gonna talk to her after this. But yeah, so with Airbnb pushing forward, you know, the unique stays on people, you know, as soon as you open the page, you see all these cool places, right? You know, log cabins or lake houses, whatever. You're not going to decorate those places with Wayfair. So you're in the right. Yeah, you're starting this at the right perfect time, because you're gonna just that's what Airbnb wants to see. And if that's going to help our units get back to the front page, I mean, shit, it's worth it.
Yeah, and those properties also, I mean, this is anecdotal, but like, you know, in Vermont, I look around at the listings around me. Why? Because I'm comp shopping. You know, we're in the market. We're trying to figure out, okay, what can we charge? And it's like these unique properties can demand pretty high ADRs. You know, I'll see like a tree house that's going for like 300 a night, and I'm like, and I look at, you know, and I look at the dates, I'm like, damn, they're like booked out. Like I can't even book this thing. And I'm like, I know how much it costs to build this thing. And if you can do this, if you can rent this out for 300 a night, and people are coming up from New York and Boston to come and stay in this treehouse, and it's like, you know, that's very profitable. And so I think, you know, Airbnb's pushing it. I think partially because, you know, they're reading what guests want, and guests are, you know, we're in the experience economy. People want experiences. They don't want to go to a cookie cutter hotel room where they all look the same. They want something that's unique, that's memorable. And so Airbnb, obviously started pushing those types of properties. And those are also types of properties where, like, you know, you want to leave with a souvenir. You want to leave with a story to tell. When people ask you about, you know, the mugs or the plates that you got, you want to be able to say, oh my gosh, we stayed at this property. It was incredible. And, you know, these plates were made by an artist that, you know, was in town, and, you know, they made them over a wood burning kiln. And, you know, it's like, humans are the storytelling animal. We love the meaning behind these things. And we love being part of that story. We love working with hosts to tell the story of their property and bring it to life. So I think you're right. The timing, you know, I think, you know, you'd rather be lucky than be good. I think we've definitely gotten lucky. I think we've timed some things well.
One thing I want to say about this, and why I love this idea, because it shows how far short-term rentals are in its infancy. Like, I remember me and Steve been doing this podcast 5 years, and back then nobody would even thought to, hey, we have all these Zenith mattresses in here. We should probably be getting paid for putting all this. Like, I don't know how many of those things we've probably gone through, you know?
Oh my
so it's
God.
like it shows like so many great, and I think Steve used to say this all the time, there's so much being created out of the short-term rental space. And I think it's just going to keep on growing and growing. And this is like another great ideas, man. And I hope this thing, really pops for you, because this is a really, really good idea, because I'm definitely signing up for something like this.
Yeah, it's almost like the sharing economy for retail a little bit. It's like, you know, part of my vision, sorry, I know it's getting really dark over here, downside of being in of Vermont, but you know, part of my vision here is like, well, could we get to a point where like brands like Dyson or Cuisinart, like, they don't need to work with Bed Bath & Beyond and Target for physical distribution of product. They can work with a Minoan network of hosts, you know, where they get these products in front of people that way. And then the hosts are creating these moments between people and the products, you know, millions of times a day in all these different settings. Like if you can build that, if you can put that model sort of like on its head, then you kind of do have this sort of decentralized sharing economy within retail where you just help. It's just helping these entrepreneurs find another way to make money and improve the economics of their business. But yeah, we got a long way to go before we're at that scale, but I appreciate that you're rooting for us.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It's funny because like I went to South Padre not too long ago, and a few weeks back, and so anyway, so we stayed at a little place on the beach, right? And it had actually the balcony you had a beach view. So at this place, I think the people they just handed over to the rental company, the on-site management company, and whatever, they don't even care about. Maybe they haven't been there since the 70s because it still looks like it was decorated from the 70s. And the bed was comfortable. I'll give them that. It's a big king bed. It was comfortable, but everything else, I mean, even the sheets, man, they had to be from the 70s or 80s. It was just ridiculous. But the artwork on the wall was just like what the just the random beach thing, that's just they got, you can get a Traders at Goodwill. They had little knickknacks everywhere. It was just like, oh my God. If I was, from what little I know about design, I could take over this whole complex and be like the number one listing, the number one.
I mean, how much more could they charge? Like
so much more. It was so
it's like people, they view furnishing as a cost center. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, it's something I got to do, and I want to minimize it. I want to spend as little as possible. But what people overlook, and this is something that, in hospitality, like, the high-end hotels do not overlook this. They spend money to make these properties look nice. But the thing they overlook is that if you invest in nicer stuff, even just to make the pictures look better. I mean, the reality is if you're on these, in this industry, you're selling images, reviews and images. And so even just to make the images look better, like it's not stuck in time in the 70s, you can increase your ADR by like a lot, and then all of a sudden, if you do the math and you're like, all right, I spent this much more, you're like, well, I made this much more in rental income in the first 6 months, and then after that, I paid, basically, I've already paid for what I spent to furnish the place, and now I'm just printing more cash. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for these refreshes. Like I totally agree. I mean, I'm staying in a house right now that looks like, the house is trapped in the cities. We've got like old stuff back here. we wanted to rent this place out, but we're like, I don't think we get very good reviews. It's like it's like we got to redo the bathrooms and stuff like that. That's why we're in the market. We want to get something nearby that we can put some work into.
And I was gonna ask because you stayed in a bunch of Airbnbs, right?
Yeah,
short-term rentals. So, what are some of the most cringeworthy things that you've experienced at these short-term rentals?
Oh man.
Don't hold back, man.
I stayed at a short-term rental in Nashville for a bachelor party, like probably 6 years ago, and they were just they just put a bunch of beds in the basement. It was like a bunk, like I don't know what it was, like barracks, like military barracks, and there was something wrong with like the plumbing, and there were pipes dripping, and yeah, it was pretty. I woke up with like, I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, shit, whatever's above me is like dripping on my face. That was pretty gnarly. We were talking about, this one's less gnarly, but pretty interesting. We were talking about Colorado and, lighting things up. I also have stayed at a property in Denver by this group called Cushcations. Actually, really interesting. The whole house is basically like
you can smoke it,
designed for like a stoner's like weekend, and there's like 8 beds. They had a PS5. They had all these games. They were locked up in the cage. They knew what they were doing, but you could play all these games. They had all this like they even had like bowls and stuff. Like they had a little section. I gotta send you guys the listing to this thing.
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah. And they were like, I'm like, wow, their cleaners must be coming in and cleaning each of those pieces between every stay. The basement was like a full arcade with like, Pop-A-Shot and pool. And so that wasn't gnarly, but they did a really good job of like, we know our audience and we're going all in. Yeah.
Now, did they have a vending machine there?
Wasn't cheap. No, that's the next. Yeah.
They had a full
Talk
vending
about
machine.
ancillary revenue streams. That's what they got to do.
They just have to fill it up too often. It would be the problem.
Man, that's actually an awesome idea. Like if you just cater to that niche, especially in Colorado, man, you make question.
Yeah.
How much did you guys pay per night to stay there?
That was okay. So this was for my bachelor party, which was 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
Congrats.
So I think it was like 1,100 a night. And they were like 11. So
that is nice.
Yeah, and the house was not. I mean, we looked it up. Obviously, now I'm like, I'm in the industry, so I look at all this stuff, and it's like, they got the house for I think like 450 or 500,000, something like that. I think based on what we saw, and so I mean, they also had a home theater. That was actually the coolest part. They had a theater and these chairs that reclined. So we watched Celtics. I think it was Celtics Heat at that point. So we're watching the Celtics game.
I thought you were gonna say Pineapple Express or something.
Oh yeah. Well, they had, they had all these posters in the, they had what are all those? Yeah, Pineapple Express,
Cheech and Chong,
How
I'm sure.
High, they had all the movie posters there. But I think and this isn't new. I mean, I think there have been a lot of very successful hosts who have like really tailored, particularly down in Orlando. I mean, you get people who are like really tailoring listings to Universal Studios or Disney World, and they do really well. But that was the first time I saw something tailored like that. And they definitely clean up. I mean, that's probably doing really well for them.
Yeah, because if you go ahead, Steve.
Oh, just tell him our friend from the show. He came on from Denver. Came on a long time ago. What's his name?
James Carlson.
Yeah. When they started being able to do Airbnbs over there in Denver out of their basements and stuff, and we had asked them, it's like, so do y'all partake? And he's like, well, yeah, me and my wife partake, and we enjoy it. And it's like, okay, so you probably hadn't had to buy any for a while, have you, or whatever? He's like, no. He goes, we haven't had to buy any since this whole thing started, because people go to those what are those shops and then they load up on all these things, these giant candy bars and stuff like that. The first day they try to eat those edibles and they're just gone, roasted for the whole. They don't even finish anything. They just leave piles of stuff behind. But they want to try everything.
Yeah. That's the other benefit. I didn't even think of.
Yeah,
that's the place to be. We should do a live, let thrive, sponsored property, furnished by Minoan,
dude,
in Denver.
I'm down. I'm down.
Let's do this, man. Oh man. This has been a great show. Real quick, are you big on king bed or queen bed? Does it matter to you?
I mean, I'm in this old. This is like my fiance's grandfather's house, so we're sort of house sitting. We're sleeping in like a full back. They used to call that a double because it was for two people. I'm big on king. Like I think that for the master, you want to take care of whoever's sleeping in the master bedroom. They're likely the person who booked, likely the one who's leaving the review. So I'm big on a king because I like to sprawl out and I like space. But I don't have a strong, I don't know. I don't have a strong preference. What I am big on, I mean, if you want to talk about mattresses, I am big on thinking about the construction of that mattress, because a lot of people will buy, like a few years ago, and now it's a little bit different, but a few years ago, the price of memory foam was very low compared to like springs and stuff. And so people were getting 100% memory foam mattresses, which you could get pretty cheap. The thing that people weren't thinking about is that if you're not used to sleeping on a memory foam mattress, like if you sleep on a hybrid or a spring mattress, like most of us do, the first 3 or 4 nights on that memory foam, 100% memory foam, are going to be super uncomfortable because your back's like adjusting and trying to get used to what's going on. It feels like you're sleeping on like sand. Then your body gets used to it after 5 days. But if you have people staying at your property for like a weekend, they're going to have the worst night's sleep ever. And so we do typically recommend people get hybrids. And we have really good, I mean, we can get, hybrids are generally more expensive, but we work with some really good mattress companies that can get people hybrid mattresses for a really, really good price. There's little details like that. The size of the mattress, I think it depends on what you're going for. Like if you're, if you know that you're going to get bachelor parties, which, that's a very lucrative, you get big houses, expensive, people won't mind sleeping on a twin for a few nights. If you're more family oriented or something, it all depends on the audience. But
so king hybrid. Go ahead, name one that's a good one for our audience.
Classic. All right, so we work with a company called Classic Brands. They're also, they sell to Amazon, say to Wayfair. We have a direct relationship with them. We have put those mattresses in hotels that charge $500 a night for a room, and guests rave about them. And they don't realize that the mattress costs, less than their nightly stay. So Classic, they're good. We'll give them a shout. Bear Mattress is another one we work with. They make all sorts of types of mattresses, but they're a little on the firmer side, and they're like, it's specifically designed for athletes, basically. So they use some materials. We have a really strong discount with them. We're getting like 40% off. Those are also in some really high end. I won't use names because we don't, the hotels don't like us revealing their sources, but those are also in some really nice hotels. And people buy those. So those are a couple brands that I think are pretty good.
So you had mentioned earlier, if it's going to be like 2 or 3 nights, maybe like a full memory foam bed isn't good for, I guess.
Yeah, 100% memory foam, usually not, because it can feel awkward. You just got to think about the general public. So most people actually don't sleep on 100% memory foam. It's like 80% of people sleep on some sort of spring or hybrid mattress. And so for those 80%, maybe it's less, I don't know, maybe 70%, but for those people, it's going to be really uncomfortable. So it's just a risk that you're taking. You could end up getting bad reviews about the mattresses, which, that sucks because then you got to replace them anyway. Then you get the bad review and you have to replace them to fix it. So it's better to just invest and avoid the risk.
Because we were getting for a while there, and our designer, told us about it, is the Zenus medium memory foams.
Yeah.
And those
Zenus makes good. We actually don't even work with them, so this is a totally unbiased plug. They make good stuff, and I haven't looked at, because we don't work with them, we haven't looked at the actual construction. I think a lot of their stuff is not 100% memory foam. I think it's a memory foam top layer. But I need to go and check. But I would stay away from 100%. You want some sort of structure that the memory foam sits on top of. If it's just foam from top to bottom, that's where you're potentially at risk of people being uncomfortable.
Okay. So on that note, if we're tailoring to like 3-month stay travel nurses, what would you suggest for them?
3 months is long enough where your back will adjust to no matter to the mattress, no matter what. So less of an issue. You might have someone who's uncomfortable for, the first 3 or 4 nights, and you would hope, so then you kind of just want to hope that they don't complain or leave a review. But generally, for that length of stay, your body adjusts. The body is pretty impressive. It just kind of adjusts to whatever it's been sleeping on.
Nice. And what about for sofas? What do you suggest for sofas?
I'm a big article guy. I mean, article, and we know this because we're retail people. So this is where the retail experience comes into play. Like, we know where the manufacturers are. So I know that like these 4 companies are all getting stuff from the same manufacturer. And then I'll see that sofa. It's like 3,000 over here, 2,500 over here, 1,800 over here. And I know it's the same thing. Article gets you really good stuff, and they do not inflate their prices very much at all. And then with our discount, it's like really, really strong value. And we have we do a lot of hosts and designers in particular. I mean, a lot of designers come and use us because of our relationship with Article. Yeah, they do really well. West Elm, Crate, they also make good products. We work with BRRRR. If you want to go like really sort of high end and modern, there's a company called BRRRR that makes really nice furniture. Outdoor furniture, we work with Joybird, we work with Outer. Yeah, there's lots. I should get my designer. We have Holly. She's a designer that works at Minoan. We call her the property whisperer, because she's just like really good about helping people pick the right stuff. And I should probably just stop talking, because she would probably have better recommendations than I would. But yeah, Article makes really good stuff. They're super reliable with their deliveries. I think some other brands, there have definitely been issues with the supply chain. It's like, and that's something we're really big on. Like, that's why we're so involved in the logistics side of things. It's not just like, oh, if you ordered from us, okay, we're done. We're like, no. We're going to follow this thing and make sure it gets to you by the install date, because we know like there's money on the line. Like if you have bookings, you need to get it installed by this day, which means stuff needs to show up on time. And so generally speaking, Article, they do really well across everything: product quality, reliability on shipping, like strong value in terms of the price you pay for the quality. So that one, I know Holly, we know that she would agree with me on that one.
So BRRRR, how do you spell that?
BURRROW.
OW. Okay, making sure it was OUGH. Okay, I'm gonna look that one up. BRRRR.
So you can put together a whole entire Airbnb or short-term rental from your site.
Oh yeah, man, everything. We do 200 brands. I mean, we sell like everything from the soaps, the shampoos. We have relationships with companies where you can get plumbing. You can get shower heads, you can get faucets, all at discounts. Linens, towels, mattresses, beds, art, lighting. We work with lots of companies that just do lighting. They have like a million SKUs. I didn't even know what a sconce was, 8 months ago, but now I do. We have a lot. We have companies that just do a ton of lighting, electronics. We are currently in process of finalizing an agreement with a smart lock, a very well-known smart lock
Please
company.
be remote lock. Just go ahead.
What?
Please be remote lock. No.
Oh, is it? It's actually not. So if that's one you like, I need to reach out to them.
Yeah, reach out to them.
Yeah, no, it's another one. It's a big manufacturer that makes a lot of different locks. But even snacks. I mean, we have hosts that are using us to buy basically like wholesale, better than wholesale costing on snacks, and having welcome baskets for the guests. So we really CBD product. I mean, we work with a lot of brands. So pretty much
awesome.
Anything you could think of that would be in a rental, we work with a brand that makes it. And we're also working on, we built this checklist from a lot of different content creators and hosts in the space that has sort of the need to have items, the nice to have, the sort of above and beyond, like a pizza stone. You don't need a pizza stone to launch, but if you want to be A+, think of everything, that's something you can add. And so we're building that checklist, and then we will connect that to all the brands. So it'd be okay, you need cookware, you need measuring cups, you need spatulas, you need mixers. And then we'll say, okay, we work with OXO. So we do work with OXO. Okay, you can get that from OXO, you can get that from Williams Sonoma, you can get that from GIR, get it right. That's their brand name. And so we'll tell you all the different brands that carry these products, just to make it really easy for you.
That's
cool,
awesome.
man. Yeah, man. Well, thanks for hopping on. This has been a great show. One question I wanted to ask you: have you heard of Host GPO?
Yeah, of course. I know Jeff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was on our show a while back. So what makes y'all different from them? I guess they're more like are they doing like hotel quality stuff, trying to get that into the Airbnbs, or what's
Yeah, it's a good question.
difference?
I don't use Host GPO, so I don't, I can't tell you from experience, but I think, they do a good job. They get good brands, they get good discounts. What hosts have told us that they really like about Minoan is there's a lot more brands. So again, we're working with 200 brands, and they also really like that it's an all-in-one platform where you can see tracking, shipping, all the orders from all these different brands you can see in one place. And then obviously porting that into the shoppability. But honestly, I mean, anyone, Host GPO is also a great company. I mean, there's a lot of good people doing good work to help hosts save money and make their lives easier. But we're free. So I think Host GPO does charge $10 a month. And so, anyone who's listening, I would encourage them to, if they can give us a try and let us know what they think.
And how often do guests do hosts actually sell, products through the affiliate marketing?
Oh, every day. I mean, we have a Slack channel where, well, not every host is selling stuff every day, but we have a Slack channel where we get every time a guest places an order, it pops up, and that thing's blowing up all day. I mean, we're selling like tea kettles, soaps, cookware. We sold a stool, like it's a shower stool, and I was like, what the hell? I don't even understand it. And someone on the team was like, oh, it's for like, people who shave their legs. It's kind of hard to do when you're standing in the shower. And so if you have a stool in the shower, it makes it easier to shave your legs. And I was like, oh, and someone did that, and then they bought it. They used it at a property. Yeah, man, we're selling stuff all the time. For a host, I mean, for one host, usually it's like the commissions on the sales will add up to be like an extra 2, 3, 4 days of bookings over the course of the year. So it's not crazy, but it's free money, and we do all the work. The host just has to set this thing up, market it, and then sit back and collect their commission checks.
That's awesome, man. I'm signing up for this.
So can you tell like what kind of guests are the ones that are more shoppable, more shopping, that shop more than the other guests? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a bachelorette party rolls through, and they like all this little cute stuff, and then they start ordering. I mean, who's the one buying the stuff the most?
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I'll tell you this, there's definitely a correlation between like the design of the property and the amount of stuff that is sold. So design, we work with a lot of designers who are also hosts. And those properties, when things are really well designed and thoughtfully designed, you sell a lot of stuff. When products are unique and memorable, it's typically the higher like priced places. Definitely, if a place is charging more, usually it's higher end. It's a little more euphoric usually for the guests. They're like, wow, this is incredible. They're already in this sort of like looking around and inspired by things. But the reality is, it really just depends on the products. Like if you're using a Sunbeam hair dryer, which like there's nothing wrong with that, but no one's going to buy that. You get a T3 or something like that, which, we get those products at like, I think 70% off. They're nice hair dryers. Like, you might sell like three of those a year. And so it just depends on the product quality, and the guest who's buying this stuff. Yeah, generally is someone who's investing in an experience. They're destination travelers, less so someone who's looking for like a crash pad. It depends on how they view the property. But, there's you can build a good business on both sides of that.
And what kind of kickbacks, what kind of percentage do the hosts get when they sell something?
Yeah, it's a 50-50 profit share. So if we're making 20 points on the sale, we get 10, the host gets 10. If we're making 30 points, we get 15, they get 15. If it's like lower margin and we're getting 15, usually the minimum's 15 points, we get 7.5, they get 7.5. So we do it that way. So the incentives are aligned. It's like, hey, we fight for good prices, and then both, the hosts and we win. So.
Okay. Now you mentioned earlier, go big on the bed, sofas, and what else? Oh, where you eat, right?
Yeah.
Is there like one thing that no one really thinks of, but if you put a little bit of effort or money or whatever into this one thing, it's gonna pay dividends?
Yeah. Smells. People don't often think about scent. What we don't realize is that we actually get, I'm going to geek out again for a second. We get most of our enjoyment in life out of scent. I mean, it's like 80% of taste. It really wildly, and scent is also like, it's very powerful. Like it's very close to the part of your brain where you form memories. That's why, like, sometimes if you notice this, like sometimes you'll smell something and you're like, whoa, like it immediately kicks back to like a memory. So smell is very, very powerful. And I think most hosts don't think about that, and they're afraid of it because they think of candles, and like you don't want open flames. We don't want open flames. You shouldn't do that. But we work with a company called Canopy. So it's getcanopy.co. We have great pricing with them. They make these aroma diffusers. This little machine, you put in some oils, it has a fan, and it spreads it out through the
Love those
property.
things.
Man, they smell. It is like, it's incredible the difference it makes just when you walk in. And so I think what I would say, and that's not that expensive, I mean, it's not expensive at all. Like, so I would say, like, investing in think about the scent. I mean, you go back to like big hospitality, like one hotels, they have their own, they spend years thinking about what's the smell of our hotel going to be. And they, do all this work and then patent it and, put it into stuff. And so I think for a host, what I would say that's most overlooked is think about what your property smells like, what you want it to smell like, and think about a diffuser or something you can put in there that's no flame, not open flame, but will keep it smelling nice, because there's a huge impact on just on happiness and sort of how the guest feels.
So in other words, just stick Airwick plugins in every plug in your house, right?
Yeah, well, you don't want to overdo it. Dude, there is such a thing as too much scent. But,
that was my early days at Airbnb. I was like, just get these plugins. Oh my god.
Man.
Yeah.
The first thing they would do is take those things out of the walls, set them aside.
Yeah,
I would get complaints.
The type of smell too is really important. Like, it's worth investing. This stuff is like, you buy like a thing of essential oils and a diffuser. It's like that thing lasts you like forever. And so the price per like drop or whatever is super, super low. Like, invest in a nice smell. It's worth it. Like, it's so much of it is subconscious, but investing in something that smells elegant and nice. The thing with the Glade plugins is sometimes those smells are like very, very strong and like overly commercialized. It's better than nothing though. I mean, if you got nothing, put a Glade plug, put it on low mode,
This is my tip for Glade plugins, man. If you're going to use them, just use them while the cleaner's there, and then have them take them out and put it in a supply closet. Because if those things stay in, man, you walk in, it's overbearing, man. So if you're going to use those, just saying, you're going to get a lot of complaints. But
it's funny. But so smell, I guess, would be my answer.
Yeah, man, it's a great tip, great gem right there. Lots of gems today. We appreciate you hopping on, Mark. And where can people find you? You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, MinoanExperience.com. We're big on Instagram. We're pushing out, a lot of content, doing host features, giving tips on products, brands that do really well in properties. That's the tag or the handle is @MinoanExperience. And then my email is mark@MinoanExperience.com. I read every email. I like hearing from hosts, so people can also reach me directly that way.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for hopping on, and we wish you all the luck. And we're definitely gonna join this thing, man.
Sure.
I want to go. I want to make my place look and smell.
Yeah,
wonderful.
let's do it. Yeah, we'll get you one of those canopy diffusers. Then you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, nice. Just not a canopy bed. I told Mike I never again putting a freaking canopy bed. All the damn screws come loose from all the boning that's going on in the. I mean, it's just no. Don't get canopy beds.
The other tip,
never do that.
The other tip is invest in a good bed frame. Don't get one of those metal. Don't get those cheap metal bed frames on Amazon because they don't hold up. And so you want something sturdy, low to the ground.
Yeah. People come to town, they're gonna have some fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot more is going on in the host than is it. A lot more is going on in the rental than's going on at home. That's for sure.
The kids are away.
Exactly.
You know, it's
you want
time
to make
to
sure
play.
you've thought of that.
Exactly. Man.
Well, thanks, man. We look forward to all your progress, and we look forward to joining the site and seeing what's up with that. So
yeah, for sure, man. And I'm gonna wait for you to throw those hats online so I can next time I come on here I'll be rocking the brand.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Yeah. Take care.
Peace.
See ya. Man, that was another great episode, man. Episode 212?
213.
213. Man, that was a good episode, man. I actually like that idea, man. I'm actually gonna see about joining that, man. So when I get my new units up in Texas, I can start, hop to it.
Heck yeah. No more Wayfair.
Oh, I got away from Wayfair a long time ago. Wayfair, there's a disaster waiting to happen.
It's man. Yeah. At first it was like, oh, everything looks kind of cool, but man, those things don't hold up, man.
Couches don't hold up, beds don't hold up, man. It's just like a disaster, I swear, bro. You gotta retighten every time you clean, you gotta retighten some screws. I'm like,
yeah. Be sure to, if you're a Wayfair person, be sure to leave a lot of Allen wrenches at the place because you're going to be tightening a lot of screws.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's not sustainable, man. Get some good furniture, man.
Yeah, we told that to Sarah, our designer, Sarah, the car wells. We told her you're not doing canopy beds no more. So no, she's not. She's done. She used to be big on canopy, and they look pretty. They look cool.
Yeah.
But no, I think she's done with those.
It's one. Oh, go ahead.
No, because we've we manage her units, so we've been at her places with Allen wrenches and like not. Yeah,
it's one of those things like those canopy beds, because how she designs places, they're gonna look awesome in the pictures, man. But when you get there, man, you lay a pounding on one of them, it's over, man. They can't stand up, man. So I mean, I understand it, man. I got away from canopies. I had these units over in Dallas, in West Dallas, man, and it was right across the street. And it wasn't a party place, but the people it attracted, the people who come to town to do what they do, because it's right across the street from like all these bars and stuff, right? So people go over there, get drunk, come back, do what they do, man. The canopy bed just wasn't holding up, man. It was just taking a pounding. So we were like, okay, no more canopy beds.
Yeah, man. So yes, sir. This is a great episode. Thank y'all for continuing. So freaking see, that's the problem, man. I mean, it's not a problem. It's business is freaking running good, and we're buying properties, and we're getting more arbitrage, more and more management. It's like nonstop, right? And people, it's the craziest part is that everybody's the recession. I hear people at work that don't really do investing. They just rely on that job to protect, to pay for everything. Is talking recession talk, gas talk, man. It's like, man, yes, we're paying more for things, but we still get to do a ton of write-offs because we're doing businesses, right? So they're not getting any write-offs. They're getting nailed, from all sides with all this high inflation and the depression and all the gas prices. So I don't know how I got on that tangent, but anyways.
No, man, I know people.
Me and you. My moral to the story was me and you and the people that we roll with are still hustling. We haven't stopped.
Oh yeah.
Our listeners out there haven't stopped hustling, and this is the best time to hustle when everybody's scared and like, oh, we can't. No, this is where, what did they say? Recessions are where millionaires are made. Depressions are where billionaires are made. So it's like this is when you should hustle the hardest.
Yeah, It's about to, because it's going to pay off in a few years, man. I'm already hearing people saying the interest rates are going to go back down in a couple of years. So I mean,
they have to, yeah.
Dude, it's going to be, man. Get your money right now, man. Invest, man. Because it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back heavy. Because man. I mean, I will say, man, this shit ain't easy. And I know sometimes we make it sound easy on this podcast, but this shit ain't easy. It's not. You got a lot of shit to do. Because like right now, I'm down here in Arkansas, man, and it's just like shit on top of shit happens. I mean, it's just shit that happens. But the thing about it is, as long as you keep the mindset, the easiest way to deal with like the burdens is to keep a long-term mindset, because sometimes when we think of short-term setbacks and we don't have that long-term mindset in the end, it'll mess us up. So make sure you always have that long-term mindset, to like, then you look at everything as just a bump in the road until you get to that end goal that you have, man. Because dude, it's been like, whew, man, they broke into my damn rehab property. They broke the windows. We put new windows in. I told my guy to bar it. So right now, what he's doing, he's putting bars on all the windows. And then after he puts the bars on, we're going to go ahead and start finishing everything up. And then my other place is just going slow. So I'm here to launch that before I leave. So it's hard, but man, that payout at the end, can't beat it.
It's hard, but it's worth it. They say in Spanish, vale la pena. You know, it's worth the pain. And
I like that.
Vale la pena. And but it's we're still out there. We're still doing it. We say we'll take breaks, but we never do.
For sure.
But opportunities keep getting. That's the craziest part. The more deeper we get into this, right? The short-term rentals and rental properties and buying properties, the more opportunities keep getting thrown at us. So it's like hard to say I'm gonna take a break when more and more people know what you're doing, and then they're reaching out to you and saying, hey, I got this, and like, man, I gotta jump on some of these. This is some good profit deals right there, right? So you can't stop, man. So anyways, thank y'all for listening to the show and the little rant at the end that we always do. We always have fun with it. And so people can find us where, Micah?
Find us IG at Live Let Thrive. Remember to follow Micah artist Stephen Shea Suarez on IG as well. Remember to join the Facebook group. We always posting stuff in there. People are always posting other deals in there as well. Like, hey, if you need the people that need places, insurance relocations, they get that posted a lot in there. And follow the Facebook group, join the email list, the newsletter, so you can get all the early access to everything. And thank y'all for continuing to listen to us as well, man. We
TikTok,
really
Live Let Thrive, TikTok, yes.
Yeah, TikTok as well. And thank y'all for continuing to listen to us.
Peace.
We are out.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.